Well, I've decided I just want to ramble about things today, things that are on my mind this week. And like most of us, we have been treated to Trump's saber rattling now with respect to Iran, because Israel is fighting Iran, is fighting Palestine, is fighting this, that, and the other thing. And the idea that the United States should be dropping bombs on top of Iran right now is extremely distressing. And because Trump is so unpredictable, and because further he is surrounded by sycophants who don't know what the hell they're doing, and he doesn't either, we are in rather perilous times right now. And when I think about what's going on in that part of the world, I can't help but somehow feel indirectly responsible for some of it. I realize that being Jewish, having gone through the Holocaust, there is that lingering feeling of being hated, being not wanted, people out to destroy you. And so I realize that Netanyahu and his supporters are still they're still basically reacting to what happened in Germany 73 years ago, 75 years ago, 80 years ago. And how could they not? How could they not remember? But how is killing everybody around you going to make you feel better about life? It's not going to happen. And what do we need to do to develop our understanding that we are all part of the same entity? And that is such a hard thing for me to grasp. I look at Trump, I'm just horrified. And then I have to remember that this Fritz personality that I was in another life, he revered Hitler. And Hitler was much more dangerous than Trump because at least he was intelligent and not falling asleep during briefings. Well, Trump doesn't even want briefings. His brain is so mushed up now that he can't even absorb them. So what do I do, in my current incarnation, feeling that I have some indirect responsibility for the horrible things that are happening right now? What I do is I send money to organizations like Doctors Without Borders and international relief funds of all kinds. And then the relief doesn't get through because the Israelis are bombing the people trying to deliver it. So this is very, very distressing. And then closer to home, of course, we have the situation where Trump is causing the undocumented to be, and sometimes the documented, doesn't seem to matter, to be rounded up and hauled off. So this, and I want to say this is not what I signed up for. But I turned, when I became an American citizen, it was a different world. It was around 1972, and I had a lot of hope for this land. I still do. I believe, like many, that this particular kind of governance is the best possible to our civilization at this time, but it requires so much participation by the citizens. And right now, we don't have educated citizens. Sometimes I watch these Facebook presentations by young people stopping and randomly asking young people questions like, what country borders us to the north? Or, what was the Revolutionary War all about? Or what is the Emancipation Proclamation? And they don't seem to, a lot of them don't seem to know. Like 8 out of 10 don't seem to know. And so if they don't study history, they can't learn from it. When us on the left go screaming and crying and carrying on about, he's taking us into a dictatorship, a lot of the people on the right have no idea what that means. They have no idea what that involves. And until they personally are harmed by what he's doing, and a number of them have already been harmed, you see these posts where the employer says, well, he said he was going to take the criminals away, and these people working for me aren't criminals, but they look Mexican, right? Or they look Venezuelan, or they look South American. And so ICE, masked, right, and with unmarked cars, oftentimes not even dressed in anything that would make it look official, they come by and they round up his people. And what is this about? What is this about? I mean, we already had 11 million undocumented immigrants in this country when I was in undergrad school. Back in 2000, back in 2000 I did this research, and we had 11 million then, and so we probably have 20 million by now. But, most of these millions are hard-working migrants. I mean, it's the people who want to make a better life for themselves that come here, for God's sake. It's not the criminal. Why would the criminals want to come here? We have a criminal in the White House right now. He's the one that needs to be deported permanently to I don't know where I want to send him. I've been thinking about Pluto as an appropriate place. But anyway, it's just really, really frustrating dealing with today's politics. And the idea is that in order to create peace on our planet, we have to feel peace within ourselves. And when I attack back and forth, I can't stand the man, he's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, etc., etc., I am not at peace while I'm doing that. Not only that, I'm not acknowledging any hateful people that I have ever been in other lifetimes while I'm doing that. It's easy for us to sit there and look and see and say, oh my God, look at what he's doing now. And to forget all of the horrible things that we ourselves have done on different occasions. And most of us probably don't even realize we have yet, because most of us do not see our other lifetimes too well yet. But it'll come, it'll happen to us. Slowly but surely more and more of us are waking up on the planet, and that means we get to see some of our other lifetimes, and sometimes we're quite horrified by what we're seeing, which makes it a bit more difficult then to carry on with day-to-day activities in your current life. So it's not necessarily a boon to see yourself in another lifetime. On the other hand, it does help when you're looking at someone you think is so horrible, so despicable, so hateful, to remember, so were you, so were you. Different time, different place, we're all aspects of the one, and we have all exchanged all these roles. In some lives, we're sweet, we're beautiful, we're kind, we're empathetic. Others, not so much. And now, if we are coming into life knowing the broad strokes of those lives, what I think that means is that a Hitler coming in knows to a certain extent that it will not be a life of love and lightness, that it could be a life of hardness and cruelty instead. And how does a soul prepare for such a life before they come in? So remembering that we are living a drama, a play, remembering that this play is supposed to help evolve us and eventually liberate us from the wheel of life, right? I mean, we will always be living in some manifestation or another, but we may not all be living in a place like Earth, as beautiful as it is, with all of its polarities, which make us so crazy. So this is my rambling today. I'm just all over the place this week, thinking about art and what it means in my life, friends who have come and gone, my counterpart, work, and best of all, flowers, which I love a lot. Alright guys, wishing you a good coming week, and I don't know what to tell you about getting your balance on this political landscape. It's not easy. I believe we have to keep coming from a place of love and a place of realizing that we are each other. We are just each other, no matter what it may look like. All right, take care.